guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. Trying to learn how to talk properly. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been procrastinating quite a lot because sometimes I have ideas overload where I have so many ideas in my head, struggling to decide which one to come up with. But I've had this idea for quite a while. I probably shared it before, but a while back, so it might refresh people's memories. But I hope you will share this with all possible people with dyslexia, especially or people from the neurodiverse spectrum, or as many people as possible, but especially people from neurodiverse backgrounds, especially dyslexic. As I say, I'd love as many people as possible to watch my videos and support my channel. But yeah, I was thinking, as it's the month of Halloween and it's the 13th. I know it's not Friday; it's Thursday, the 13th of October. But due to my fear of the number 13, I often think. I mean, I've seen the name, and it's really a really long, complex name, triskaidekaphobia or something like that. If you can think of how to pronounce it, please post it in the comment section how to pronounce that word. Perhaps I'll have to look onto Google again, but how to pronounce it. But yeah, basically, this is like calling out all possible people with dyslexia, especially, as I say, as dyslexics normally have, on average, from what I've heard, quite a good imagination. I think I do myself as someone with slight dyslexia. I say I'm slightly dyslexic because I was taught how to read and write, although I do have my strange punctuation, but I was taught how to spell. I sort of guessed where the punctuation should go, I know, but so please forgive me for that one. But yeah, I was thinking like, I can't draw, even though I'm just slightly dyslexic, but or I certainly can't draw very well because I have dyspraxia too. I think that's why. Or I don't have most patience. I think with dyspraxia, it's like affects your coordination and your patience and things like that. And I think dyslexia can affect people in different ways. So if there's any other fellow dyslexics also who want to share their 2 cents, i.e. their views, for those who might not know what that means, or and your experiences and whether you can draw. I'm sure there are plenty of dyslexics who can't draw as well, but on average, again, it is a talent that many dyslexics do have, which is they can draw. Maybe I can draw better than I think, but I don't think so. But yeah, I'd love for dyslexics to like draw scary pictures and create scary stories from our imagination, obviously. Sorry, I'm having some problem with the internet connection, so I hope this is loading properly. I don't know why this happens to me every now and then, but quite often, or too often. Sorry, yeah, probably not explained very well, but yeah. So I'd love for fellow dyslexics to like share scary stories, and maybe make scary videos or talk about stories from our imagination. I'd love to get around to doing that myself, if I have the confidence to do so on YouTube. But also like just generally, not just necessarily on YouTube. This is just promoting the idea on YouTube, but it could be on and off YouTube. In the future, I'd love for dyslexics to work together on making films or movies, whichever term you prefer, and books and all sorts of things like scary, not just scary, but in this case, I'm talking about scary ones. I'd say, but I'd love to see dyslexics sharing like their scary videos. I was going to say, I know for many Christians, it's like they say it's pagan. Not sure what Muslims or other groups say, but I know Christians often say it's pagan and we shouldn't be celebrating it. But I think it'd be pretty cool to make a positive from it and like have a bit of fun. And I wish God wasn't a killjoy, perhaps. But yeah, I think I'd love to see, as I say, scary things like whether it's videos, stories, pictures, masks, or things that are created by people with dyslexia, like storylines that are from our head, from imagination, or even, as I say, personal experiences, or reading other books, or listening to reading other people's stories, or listening to other stories, and making our own sort of version of that. How we can have a twist on those sorts of things. Like I often think when you get films, I think there's a few films. I don't tend to watch many films, but I think there are a few films where at the end they have like alternative endings, how the film could have been. And I'm sure a lot of the people who make those are generally dyslexic, because we see it, not sure about infinite, but we see so many different possibilities for imagination. Like Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge because it is arguably never ending, perhaps. And I think that's, yeah, we think of so many different possibilities. I'm not sure about infinite, but we think of so many different possibilities about how things could go, how things can be, and all that kind of thing. So yeah, sometimes when I see a story, I think how that story could be changed or whatnot, or how that story could have ended up, or things like that. So yeah, as I say, hope I'm making some sense here. But I'd love to. Basically, what I'm trying to say is promote an idea for my fellow dyslexics and possibly other people from neurodiverse backgrounds or people with an imagination generally to like scare, sorry, share or make and create and then share your scary videos, stories, books, maybe even in the future, and films, maybe even movies, maybe dyslexics could collaborate on that, and maybe even make like masks or other things that are quite scary for Halloween. So yeah, I hope on Halloween itself, especially that hopefully this idea is shared in advance, enough in advance for my fellow dyslexics, as I say, or other neurodiverse people, or people with imagination generally, people with ADHD as well, possibly autism, perhaps, or whatever. Even people who don't have those conditions, but especially dyslexics, as I say, to yeah, to make like things like masks or videos or their own like maybe short videos on YouTube or things like that, or pictures, drawings, or all sorts of things like that are like quite scary for Halloween, for a bit of a laugh, and yeah, just have fun with it basically, and yeah, even like Halloween decorations using dyslexic creativity, and maybe even collaborating with other dyslexics to make such, and including, as I say, maybe even YouTube videos, short YouTube videos or things like that, or even like telling stories to the camera and things like that. So or maybe even dyslexics like copying people like Chills. I don't know if, well, I imagine that's not his real name, but Chills. I don't know if he's got, he may or may not have dyslexia, but I know we should be careful about the copyright. But people like that who make, or even Blasphemous HD, again, he may or may not be dyslexic. I'm not sure, but he never said what he does have dyslexia. So, but you never know. Maybe he does, or maybe he doesn't even. Maybe he has it without noticing, or knowing. But yeah. Basically to make compilations of scary videos or even react to scary videos if we can. Obviously, again, we have to be careful of copyright, but maybe we could do that sort of thing, especially if people give us permission, are kind enough to give us permission to react to their videos. So sorry if I'm all over this place with this video, but I sort of decided I was going to type up the idea to dyslexics in dyslexia groups, but I thought I might as well make this video due to my punctuation and stuff like that, especially as well. And yeah, hope you enjoy this video and share it. As I say, I welcome all possible support, especially from fellow dyslexics, but obviously not limited to fellow dyslexics. And I'm going to try and stop waffling. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think we could? It'd be interesting to see what we could produce and make, create, produce, or whatever. Especially if we perhaps collaborate and hopefully achieve more than we thought we could. Maybe I said to someone once. I asked a question on a dyslexia group about whether dyslexics could make scary stories, and one person replied, "What it could be actually based on our own experiences at school and things like that." Maybe that's not a scary story that everyone could relate to, though. Although other fellow dyslexics might be able to. But anyway, I'm going to try and stop waffling, and I'm out. Peace and love.